Good morning, all my brothers and sisters here. Morning. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I feel very privileged and honored to be here today. And I can you please look around here. Look around you. Don't you think it's wonderful to have such a big crowd over here? And this is not just the company level. This is not my entire group. This is 95% under Moose and Fauzia. I got to know this couple about a couple of months ago. And when I always congratulate him, he always say, "I'm just lucky." Where's Moose? Yeah, I'm just lucky. I agree with him, he's lucky. But he set on to speed up his luck by the way he leads, by the actions he do. And today, because of him, even before Nick announced to everybody that this group has a large part to play, I've already announced to everyone, in my over 20 years of sales and marketing, I've never seen a group so fast, so dynamic, so synergistic. Every day, I receive as much as over 200 WhatsApp messages. Every day. This guy works 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. He never sleep. 3 a.m. I'm still awake. I also reply to him. He's an amazing guy. And I'm very sure that today is lucky, not because he's lucky alone. He has went through many challenges. I don't know him very well. I never asked him about his past until now. But I know that he has went through many challenges, financial challenges. He did tell me he faced financial challenges, a lot of mental challenges. I believe he has also failed many times. Agree, Moose? And that's the reason why, in a very short period of time, 5 months, not everybody can achieve in 5 months. It took me about 6 months, and also went through many challenges, and all these challenges are so-called my learning journey. So today, I'd like to talk a lot about myself. Now, if you go to my office, you never see any certificates about myself, because I always talk about us together as a team, because I cannot be here today without all your efforts. And also, I have to talk about myself because I want to share with you many embarrassing moments, many failures that I went through, and over the course of the last 10 over years, I realized that it has to happen. Otherwise, I won't be here on stage. Now, I remember when I first started, I was a total newbie in network marketing. But in a very short period of 3 months, I became very famous all around Asia. I won the top 100 networker leader of Asia award. And I also received many awards over the last couple of years, and also become the first Southeast Asian leader to bring an American company to Singapore. So you look at my past, if you look at my past, you will never believe that I'll be here standing here today. I'll be a total nervous wreck. I faced so many challenges. I have to share with you, because what you see us over here is a leader, successful leader. But what you do not know behind us, a lot of pain, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm here to inspire you. And I've not prepared my speech in an organized manner. I just take off the cuff to share with you where I came from. I started off about 12 years in the insurance industry. And if people around me who knows me, they will be behind my back speaking, sharing with their friends, Raymond is not suitable to be a salesperson. He's too shy. I was very shy. Especially when I look at girls, I dare not look at them in the face. When I go over to a party, I always look around for familiar faces. When I don't see any familiar faces, I will feel very nervous. I'll take a cup of drink and I'll go to one corner by myself until the party ends. But why do I want to go to sales? Because my daughter was born. And I just left the Air Force, neither here nor there. I can't start over again because the pay is too low. And nobody want to take me because I don't have proper qualification. So I was caught in the middle, and I realized that the only way to really make my family have a good life is to go to sales, because sales give us unlimited income. So I took the challenge, and the reason is because I got a very strong reason why. Because I love my family. So I went to attend every single training that I do, they offer. And finally, I got the chance to do cold calling. How many of you experienced cold calling? Means we're talking to strangers. It's so terrible feeling. You know, just to take the phone. The phone now is like a 500 pound. It's very hard. It took me a lot of courage. That's why I say mental toughness is very important. So I went through and I just read from a script, like like a train. And I know that I actually have to go through. And after a couple of tries, I developed my courage. Finally, I got a chance to make an appointment. I went to see my first customer. Now, all my life, I've never done a presentation to a stranger. So I prepared myself very well. I went through my script. I got a folder. I rehearsed. I went step by step. You know, I memorized everything. But when I arrived at the house of my first potential customer, I checked the address correct. Suddenly, my mind went blank. I just couldn't know how to start, and I don't even dare to knock the door. I was pacing outside the door for don't know how long. I said, because of my newborn daughter, I have to face the music. So I went out, I knocked. So I asked for the lady's name. She said, yes, I am. Suddenly, everything went blank. I went to her house, sit in front of there. I just went through my script. I forgot what I want to say. I just flipped and just read from my folder. That was my first experience. I went back. He hounded me for nights. Why am I so stupid? Why other people can be ladies can be top 40 of the agents? I can't even open my mouth. Can't even have the courage to even do the first presentation. So I was toying whether I should go back to work or should I carry on. And I told myself, because of my newborn daughter, I want to be the great father. I decided that I have to go on. And I also continued to brave through that courage. Continued calling again until I got my first customer, did my best service, and then from there lead to another. And I became a $1 million round table every single year after that. And how did I do that? Because I learned from the successful leader that all readers are very voracious readers. That means they read and they read and I read. And during a period of time when I was in insurance, I read so many books that I began to know that as long as a person has got no brain damage, you can be a champion. You just have to shortcut your learning by learning from the failure and the journey of the successful people. And that's where reading became my passion. And I started also to buy tapes, buy DVDs, and I listened in the car, and I was like learning almost every single day. And I began to know that inside everyone, we have the potential to be a leader. It is ourselves, it's our mind. I want to share with you some stories. And I believe these stories has a great impact on me, and also in my training to my group, I share with them that the mind is the greatest power of all. Now I remember reading a book about two American fighter pilots. They were flying missions over North Vietnam during the Vietnam War. And unfortunately, the plane was shot down by the Viet Congs. So they actually escaped on a parachute, but when they landed, they were captured by the Viet Congs. You know what they do? Because you're a fighter pilot, you hold a senior rank, what do you think the enemy will do to you? They'll torture you. So two pilots, daily, they were subject to daily torture. The first pilot could not stand the pain, cannot stand the suffering. And every single moment, he was thinking of ending his life because he cannot endure the pain, the physical pain, also the mental torture. So every day, his mind was geared towards suicide. He wants to end his life. Now, the other captain, the other pilot, every time when the enemy subject him to physical torture, he didn't focus on the pain. He focused on his beautiful wife and two children in the United States. As he was being tortured, he was thinking of the vision of escaping and going back to the US to his home sweet home. Every time he was tortured. Now, why is this lesson got to do with us? Because in this kind of business of network marketing, you're going to face a lot of challenges. From every single company that I went through, especially at the beginning, you face many frustrations. Even experienced leader like us. I'm very sure Nick over here, the manager of Malaysia, faced tremendous amount of pressure almost every single day. Am I right, Nick? Otherwise, the company won't employ him. His here is to lead and manage the Malaysia team to be number one. See, so that's everyone has to lead. So the part was the second man was always thinking of how to escape. He didn't focus on the pain. It was painful, but he didn't focus. He focused on freedom. He focused on escape. So one day, when the guts, I call it the first, the first so-called fighter pilot, one day, when the guards were not watching, he managed to steal a cloth and he hanged himself in a cell and died because his mission to end his life. The second one is escape all the time. So one day, when the guards were not watching, he ran for his life and went to a village. It was also the North Vietnamese, but because of pity, they actually helped him to get contact with the American Air Force, and a helicopter brought him back to America safely to his family. So whenever we have frustrations, rejections, sometimes even very unkind criticisms, even though we share the water, it's for them. Yes, it's also for our financial wealth, but we will not get it without sharing our so-called this product here with them. And as their life enhanced, we also enhance our life. But sometimes they think that we are there only to make money from them. So they give us some crap. It's okay. And I learned over the last 20 years, you got to learn to love rejections. And I love it when people reject me. This is part of the game. The more rejections you go through, the easier you get. Now, so I got also, over the past few years doing this Kangen business. Prior to that, 9 years ago, someone has already shared with me this Kangen water analyzer, some 9 years ago. But the guy, the approach was wrong. He sent me an email and he said, Raymond, can you check up this website and give me your opinion? So I opened up the email, I clicked on the website, I saw was a water filter. When you look at the price, it's 4,000 Canadian. I was in Canada at the time. 4,000 Canadian, what do you think? Crazy, who will buy a water filter? Must be MLM, correct? So I politely rejected him and I went on to do the other business. And then 3 years ago, two guys from Malaysia came, and the smart thing was he never showed me much. He just said, I asked for the company, I asked for the so-called the product, and also the website. So this guy was very thankful. He says, Raymond, can I come to Singapore and I show you everything? I was lucky, this is really lucky, because if you were to me, oh, it's Kangen, then I'll say, come on, don't waste your time. I know what's Kangen, I know everything about Kangen, correct? So luckily, I did not, he did not show me, and since it was our job, I said, come on over, okay? And that video presentation, the DVD, was the one that opened my mind that this is no ordinary water analyzer. But as I was watching the DVD, I knew that this is a very difficult product to sell. Because I'm a salesman. $5,000, 12,000 ringgit. How many rich friends will buy this machine? People don't mind buying Mercedes-Benz because they can show off. People don't mind buying a Rolex watch because they can show off. They don't mind buying an LV bag for their wife and their girlfriend because you can carry and show off. But you can't carry a machine, a Kangen machine. I own the most expensive machine in the whole world. You cannot, because they're healthy. It's only when they're sick that they pray, Lord, please take back all my Mercedes, take back my Rolex. I want my health. They're too late. So I know it was tough until they show me the business plan. Just 3 columns, 1A, 1A, 2A. I didn't even have to go to 3A. Don't even explain 3A. I was not listening. 1A, 2A. I got it because I was in this kind of business before. So I had a very big vision. It's going to be a very big business for me. So again, I found another very big opportunity, not just for myself, for the friends whom I filled in my previous company. I knew this is the one. This is the one. So I went back. I tested my wife. My wife, of course, as a very concerned wife, a very loving wife, he was afraid that I'm going to get involved in another business, especially when I ask for price, I say 5,000. So next question you ask is Singapore dollar or Malaysian ringgit, because my friends are from Malaysia. I say Singapore dollar. Crazy, instant. The housewife is not making money. Of course, money is very important. You better don't go and oblige to your friend. We have a very good water filter in Singapore, in our house already, So I knew this is the reaction. So I pressed the DVD. I said, let's watch the DVD. So she went through that night with me. And the first question, as a loving mother to my kids, you know what's the first reaction? Dear, you got to buy this for our children. She forgot about the $5,000, 12,000 again. So I said, okay, let's watch. And as she watched towards the end, with the 8-point system, she was with me in previous companies, and she said, dear, I think you can do this very well. I say, I was driving back, I knew what I'm going to do, and I started having a list of my friends whom I worked with for some time, and I started duplicating the system. And I can tell you it's not easy. I'm sure most didn't get this off the ground easy. He has to travel north of Malaysia, south of Malaysia, east, west, and I'm very sure he received rejections. I'm very sure about it. Fauzia here, right? Every case that you approach, they say, yes, thank you, I'm ready to buy the machine. Is that so, Fauzia? So you get frustrations. So that's part of the journey, the life, mental toughness. Now, so this business here is about a very strong why of doing the business. And a lot of people, including myself, when I first started in the sales business, my mission is to make more money. That was my initial when I went in insurance. Not because I want to save life. Of course, it's good. When people die, there's some money, but in my first priority was I want to make money for my family. And of course, we achieved that. We had a lot of holidays, etc. But along the way, as you settle death claim, then you knew the other part. It's not just about the money, it's about service, about touching another family. So as you go through, for those who have been involved with me in a business, you realize that every business after that is not about making money. Selling cigarettes is making money. Selling Ampat Eco also making money, but it's making money for yourself at the expense of other families. So I began to understand a bit more about philosophy of life. The business that I have to go in has to benefit the customer first, and the potential must be also justified for me to spend time and effort spreading the message of health and wellness. And I think with that mission, as you go through the challenges, you must, as a leader, you have to continuously read. And I also learn from everyone else. I listen to the person who is very reluctant to buy. I'm also learning. Because we come from different walks of life, everybody has their reason for rejecting you. So I also learn from every single one in my organization, even my pool of prospects, and I learn to fine-tune and adapt, because the most important thing is, if this product or the service I product cannot benefit the client first, there's no business for you. So the more you can touch, the more you will make as well. So that means to say that you have to be tough. So when you make the money, if your focus is just on money, what happens? When the money is achieved, then you stop working because you've already achieved your mission. So I do not know what's your mission. My first mission was making money in my past. So now the business I'm doing now is making money, but I must be of service to my members. I must be of service to the company. I must be service to the customers. Then, as we achieve our ranks and our income, we won't get tired, because there's a lot of people who are drinking the wrong water. So I end up traveling not just in Malaysia, not only in Indonesia. I travel to far and wide in Philippines. And it's tough, because you go to countries like this, sometimes we are not comfortable with the environment, the food, and the surrounding. But why we go on? We have good income. And Nick will know how much income we make. It's a very comfortable income. But because your mission is enhancing other families. So there's a lot of people today who work very hard, thinking that it's for their family, but only realize that after a certain number of years, then they know what they are doing, what they are working hard so for, is not entirely for their family. A large part of the savings actually goes to the doctors and the hospitals. The day will come. It's not a matter of now, it's a matter of the future. One day they realize all these years of working hard, striving very hard, going through challenges, the money they earn actually benefits the doctor. They are saving very hard for doctors. So as we go to countries like this, sometimes it's away from family, and when you go back to your hotel room, it's very lonely. You're alone. But you know that the mission is very big. We are working with a company, we have a duty, and we also lead a team. They also want to see the leaders rise up higher and higher because they are looking at you as a goalpost. If you can do it, I can do it. Now, so the main thing now is, I am very in awe of Fauzia and Moose. As I was going through the messages, I realized that he knew he has to go through the pain. 3 a.m. Then he has to organize training, meetings. I said, I used to do that, I used to do that in the beginning. In my first company. I don't do that as much now because of traveling, and also because I believe in the global business. So I say, wow, this is a fantastic business. I don't know who is Moose, I don't know who is Fauzia. And I told everyone in my first couple of months of doing the business that it's not just an MLM or a direct selling business. This is a sure win lucky draw. Sure win. Do you know what I understand that I say sure win lucky draw? It's a matter of you will strike it now, or 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. If you understand the power of water, you understand about environmental pollution, you understand about love for your fellow friends and relatives, then you know that as you change, the business is going to be very big for them, and it's going to be very big for you. It's a very huge mission that we are embarking on. So you know that to go on this journey here, you have to talk to your families that you're going to be away for some time, because my wife is not like Fauzia. Fauzia follow the husband everywhere. My wife loves to be with me, but sometimes, because I'm late, I don't sleep early. I can also be like Moose. Sometimes I can sleep for 4 hours, 5 hours, and next day I'm up and coming the whole day. But my wife comes from a family that sleeps very early. Or sometimes, of course, she obliged, but when I go to speak to my leaders until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., she'll be nodding off, and I feel very pity for her. So I have no choice. It's a very young business. We need to spread the message as much as possible. And we have to lead the way. This Fauzia and Moose, the way they lead, I can't copy 100% theirs, but I know that we have to do that. And I think this team here did a marvelous job of believing in the leadership. They also follow, because he showed by example. I think it's a 6A to just about how long? 3 months after 6A, 2 months. I'm not sure if I guess correctly. I think it's the fastest growing 6A2. Just like, and it's not by luck. His paper is luck. And he's also very demanding. Sometimes I have to tone him down a bit. He's very demanding of the upline. Now I have to tone him down a bit. But he's good. He means well, because he wants his team to look up to the uplines as well. So I understand he's there. He has a very great mission, and he really, really drives the organization. He went through a lot of challenges. I'm sure some of the members may not like him. Do you agree? But he has no choice. He has to be tough, the mental toughness. So how do you achieve mental toughness? What do you think? You have to follow the leader who has gone through that challenge. And one of the most important things is to read. Now, how many of you have read Think and Grow Rich? Think and Grow Rich, whether in Malay version or Bahasa Indonesia or English. Think and Grow Rich. I'm very sure leaders are, okay? Now, I was very inspired by the book very early in my sales career, and that taught me the so-called that ability to go through this. Now, I went through a company. It was very tough. The first time when I was asked to do a presentation, I'm used to sales, one-on-one, one-on-two, And when I went to network marketing, I was asked to speak in front of a very big group of people. My goodness, my first presentation was very embarrassing. That was something like 1999. That's not long ago. And I was achieving a success, leveraging on the upline. I was good in writing, I was good in marketing. And when I come here, I just sit down and just listen to the upline. And he closed the sale for me. Okay? After that, people say, wow, I cannot wait. I want to join. So I just go in and fill the application form. I'm a clerk, okay? I'm a signing clerk. So and one day I was asked to do the presentation. And I took the challenge. You know, after reading so many books, I say, okay, I will take the leadership. I went up. So my first presentation was, I thought not many people would attend my presentation. So I was taking it a bit easy. Of course, I went through my so-called my presentation. Those days was using transparency, transparency. When the night came, just an hour or so before the presentation, my mind was confused because I was fearful of public speaking like this kind of very big crowd. So I went in, I expected maybe because I'm a new speaker, most of my leaders will not invite a lot of people. When I went to that room, because of my success, because of the money I earned, they always brag about, oh, even though much. So they invited a lot of people. So my first presentation was full house. So I was entering the room, I saw, wow, it's very intimidating. The crowd is very intimidating. So I went to the front. I was very nervous, honestly. I know how to present, but it's just that the crowd overwhelmed me. I went up to the front. I just saw the sea of blanks. I can't see people. Actually, I see something, it just felt like a sea, nobody is in front. And I was so nervous. I kicked that mic wire and the mic drop, That made me nervous. There are people laughing, So I was a very new horn, very frightful. I went up there and I took my first my first transparency. I was putting down, my hand was shaking, shaking. And as I put it there, the wall there was shaking, as though there's an earthquake in Sumatra. And the audience was laughing. And that was the leader, 6A42, that here, standing here. But as you reflect back, I was just like any one of you, human. Just that my brain was okay, no brain damage, just nervousness. So I went in there, I was stammering, the first few slides. It was good that I sat in on almost all the presentation of my upline. I was sitting in like a parrot, and after a couple of minutes, I gained my composure. As I get more familiar with the slide, and I was managed to pull through. And then after that, it was a journey that, from the time was insurance to the MDRT, and now from the very first time into network marketing, I went through this very embarrassing moment. Of course, every time when you feel embarrassed, you go back, it affects you night after night, Oh, so embarrassing, so embarrassing. I said, well, for my family, for the friends who trust me, I have to go on. So that's called mental toughness. And how did I do it? I read the book Think and Grow Rich. I said that once you go in, you cannot pull back. So I went on. I read chapter 2. How many of you remember the chapter on desire? Chapter 2, desire. Now, I'm sure, as I said this, many of you cannot remember, right? That's because probably you read the book only once or twice. I read the books many, many times. There was a chapter on this guy called a military commander. He's a military commander. He was tasked to take over a very strategic island, because that island, once you capture it, you are in a strategic position to conquer the rest of that region. So he was briefed, and he knew that his team of soldiers is outnumbered by the enemy. That means that island is very well fortified, and the numbers are much more staggering than them. So as a commander, loyal to the army, he took the challenge, and the soldier actually went on 2 ships. And just before they land on shore, he gave order for the 2 ships to be burned. Okay, he gave order, burn the ship. So as the ship was burning, he told the soldiers, now look behind. The 2 ships that we have just disembarked is gone. They are gone. Okay? So there's 2 choices. Either you fight and win, or you're going to perish. That means there's no turning back. You've got to win the war. But the soldiers, none of them know about, they were outnumbered. So they went on to win the war. Now, after the war, then they told the soldiers, we were actually outnumbered. Now, had he, as a leader, knew about the situation, knew about the challenge. He was, let's say, as a turn around, the two ships are out there. We have just disembarked. Now, this island, we are outnumbered. Okay? We have smaller number than the enemy. Now, anytime you feel that you are not winning, please turn back. The ship is there. Run for your life. What do you think will be the soldier? Run. The first thing they fire, the moment that somebody fire, they run back first for their life. But because they were told, either will win or perish, will win. Now that book also encouraged me that along the way, as we are doing the business, we face challenges. My first company was the worst. Then I came to Kangen. The first few months was really challenging. We don't have an office in Singapore. We also don't have an office in Malaysia. And the price, very intimidating. There's no installment plan. There's no service center. So that's where people say the water is very good, they try, but they say, wow, very hard to sell. So they buy one set or they defer their decision. So it's tough. And sometimes in Malaysia, they got lightning strike, the machine has got, in a way, the fuse blow, and then you got to send to where? Hong Kong. So we face these challenges. And also those days, we have to remit money from Hong Kong, your commission. So when they come to you, you don't get the full 800 ringgit. You probably get about 600 ringgit because of bank charges. And then complain again because we told them $800. They come back $600. And I have to drive to Kuala Lumpur almost every 1-2 weeks. And once a month I drive to Penang. That was the start of business. We drive, and as we were closing the case, then challenges come again. There's other brand, cheaper, better than Kangen, cheaper. And it's like an arrow shooting from everywhere. As you understand the business, you have the vision, you want to bring the thing forward, wow, problems are coming already. Competitors' brand, their brochures are very well written. And those days we don't have brochures. We come up with our own brochure. We read company, no, you're not allowed to put energy. Everyone, no choice, because we have to have the thing. So we have to, because the company is not here. So I took the challenge. And Mr. Asato at that time was helping us. Before Nick was Mr. Asato. So we asked, can I open a shop? Because that's the only way. As a leader, I have to have something. So I decided to open a shop. And that time, the energy was not even open in Singapore. And that's how we got the first head start in Singapore. And from there, we started to use that as a springboard to the entire South Asia. Now that's where the challenge is. As a leader, we know the financially we have to, a lot of money that come out, we have to put in. And sometimes we spend more money than the money come in. But we are leading a team. We have to go through the mental toughness. You don't expect your downlines to do that. So we went in and they right on board our shop. And also we put them on duty, they got their seal, and then we lead them through. And after some times, most of them run out of customers. Right? Some after a while, no more friends. Now that's where, if you as a leader, you can see the potential of the Kangen business. You don't have to sell like a salesman, because you try to sell, you're going to have a frustration. A lot of friends will say you are a very expensive salesman, because to get 100 sales by yourself is not easy. But I'm sure every friend has got 3 or 4 friends who, after trying the water, will buy the machine. Maybe some of them they have 20, some of them have 30, some of them got 2 or 3. That is where your job is to organize training. You also try to duplicate the materials you have. So I'm very happy that your team here promote books like Good to Great. You all are really like Enzyme Factor. You are promoting the books very, very well, like Killing Cancer, all this. These are the tools that as a leader, we took the first step forward. Then we bring the ORP meter for our leaders to go through. And as you go the journey, you begin to have the leverage on the leader. So you went in, you are not so bad. You actually have the chance to leverage on us, on Fausia, and also from Musia, to leverage on so-called the tools that they are promoting. And that's why today your team go very, very well. And I can see that the 6As are coming up very fast. And yesterday, I think Moose also asking me to attend a meeting at 10:30. I was already very busy on the other side of PJ, and I came back, I think about after dinner, about 1-2 a.m. And this morning we're here. And I know that Moose has a range of meetings. He's really tough. He has gone through that journey of self-learning. I think you have something like the day I saw the message, you are planning for something like 150 training sessions. This is an amazing leader. I'm tough. I'm telling you, mentally I'm very tough. And of course I also have challenged many people in our business here. But I think this guy is tougher. Let's give him a good hand. And I thank you once again for inviting me here. Your journey to success, you must know that this business here is a sure win lucky draw. I don't know who is Fausia, I don't know who is Mustafa. Today, after 3 years, through a connection, one after another, we got a lucky draw. First, he's a jackpot to us, jackpot. I know his team sells as much as 20 sales a month, Nick. No, a day. As many 20 sales a day. I think the counter is, I saw a lot of photo. Always one counter is like for as though it's for them. Am I right? One counter for them. He's our jackpot. My first prize also. Up there, John, can you stand, John? Before I met John, we also faced challenges. We faced challenges among our Singapore team and our Malaysia team. Before I got to John, I went to Penang. My Penang leader come and go on. I drove once a month to Penang. Why I have to drive? Because I got to carry machine with me. I got to carry my test kit. So by plane is a bit troublesome. So I drove from Singapore to Penang. 10 hours. So it took me about a year to call the sister-in-law. I got one sister, 1 year. Follow through. Finally got a chance to meet. Only when I reached there, they told me that they were being approached by someone who has got a shop in Penang. Just on the day I was supposed to close, they told me the brother-in-law, Mr. On, is thinking of signing under another leader. Just when the trip was there, more or less to close the case. I said, why should I sign with you? Okay, but I was got to enable that. But even if they rejected me, I knew this is part of a business. I will still go on to Malaysia, I will still go on to Indonesia and also Singapore and Philippines. But I managed to convince them. And then after that, once they convince, they sign. It means every month I have to go there once, sometimes twice. Every now and then. And as I go with them, many negativity as well. Competitors there's a shop down there. There's people giving discounting Okay, but by the way, working together with them, today they are able to live by themselves. They are quite independent now. Then came John. Now John actually more or less retired. He's already financially retired. So it was through a DVD that I shared with him. He opened his mind and he asked a question. Anyone in Sabah has got this so-called business going on? A machine, I know, there are probably some machines, but leadership, no. I say no. So he and his wife decided to postpone their retirement. And they said, we will chiong Sabah first before we retire. But when they first started, I can tell you a lot of challenges because Sabah is away from West Malaysia. Mr. Sato is in Kuala Lumpur. So they have to fly in Hong Kong. They have to, and then after, as they were building up the network, another problem arises. Illegal advertisement came out on the newspaper. And then people are blatantly giving discounts, over there. And of course, we were communicating a lot during the period of time. And fortunately, John is another leader who never say no. When he sees something, he push negative aside. And we work together. Even we work together is by supporting material and also by communication. Many times I wanted to go there. Fortunately, I got a great friend in him. He said, no, Raymond, you don't worry. I'm a leader. I know what to do. You enjoy yourself. You go and take care of your own group. We take care of ourselves. So that was my lucky draw. Now, had you not persevere through that rejection, that's where many MLM leaders, after a few failure, when you show them something, they ask you, is it MLM? They say, yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm not interested. They stop. Yeah, maybe other MLM may not have the lucky draw, but this one, because you only buy one machine. And one machine, when you were to say share the water, if somebody buy another machine, it is another branch. It's a free branch. The branch will share the water. Every time they share water, it's a lucky draw. Every time they give a brochure, it's another lucky draw. And every time they give you a DVD, it's a lucky draw. And when people say, can you follow me to attend the presentation? They bring another lucky draw. And sometimes they buy DVD by the 100. I bought 1,000 DVD. I got 1,000 lucky draw. So I went in and I gave this. Some of them they don't watch. You call them, no time to watch. That's rejection, never mind. And people like John, people like Mike, my good friend, who's a 6A now, Mike over there. People, they watch this, they got excited and became a lucky draw. And because of Mike, he contacted a lady called Linda. Linda brought in about 50 over units, another 50 units. So our job is, if you can ride through the journey of rejections, criticisms, and attend a training, every time you feel down, talk to your leader, like us. Talk to Moose, talk to me, talk to the leaders above you, connect the leaders up. And your job is easier, much easier than now. So we have a fantastic team here, and I here thank you very much for inviting me here. And my group is only very small here, okay? They are all over the world, but I'm very happy that I'm invited by Moose here to share my journey towards here. And my subject is, again, mental toughness. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. Before you leave, just a few questions.
Yeah, sure.
Apart from Malaysia and Singapore, where else have you managed to?
Philippines. Yeah. Maybe I just ask my Philippine young partners to stay. Now this is, they are from one of the poorest cities in the Philippines called Danau City in Cebu. So it's a very tough, as a businessman, very few people want to go to Danau. They rather go to Manila, Cebu, or Kuala Lumpur, or Jakarta. But I went there because this business here, the water, everyone in the world is drinking the wrong water. Okay, they drink the wrong water. That's why they age very fast, they get sick. So the reason why I go there is, these are the scholars. They are very good in their academic studies. Just after studying, just like any other professionals, they end up working for people. And of course, the wages in Philippines cannot compare to Malaysia or Singapore. So I knew that, because I knew them for more than 10 years, I knew them, they're like my children in the Philippines. So I decided that I'm going there, and that's why I would just open a shop. I'm not registered a company. I registered a company, but I'm not registered with Energic. We're going to register this month or next month. And they're already doing quite well in the sense of sharing the water. They already have one machine already just sold. I think there are inquiries coming from other places. This is Philippines.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seterusnya, untuk acara seterusnya, saya serahkan kepada